Imagine if I could play WoW on a PS4. I would love that. I would love. There's still things that they need to do, hands down. So my hope is the fact that they've added this as an API, the fact that I can play with the controller itself. Well, maybe I'll have to look into the difficulty and obviously look at my time constraints. But what if I was like, hey, check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and really make the API because I looked at somebody was like, why aren't you using console port? And I went and looked, and console port still requires the WoW mapper, so it still requires additional software to run in the background. And the goal of this is to try to make this as friendly and easy as possible. So there's a few things I can do, and I'm gonna have to make sure I didn't break any mappings. But that's kind of what today's about. We're gonna be playing a little bit. I'm gonna be kind of testing my changes, and then I'll go and put together a guide so anybody who wants to kind of echo or
Look at,
mirror this, they
look
can
at
do
you
so.
on your little Kodo.
My little Kodo. All right, where are we heading?
That is the
Up
Torn
here.
racial mount.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
You can get them in
Lord.
different colors.
Stop rubbing it in, man. Like, can I get that as a mount? Well, in this game, the answer is yes. Can I get it colors on it? Yes again. Oh, I gotta face him. There we go. Cool guy, Chris. Thanks so much for that follow.
Oh,
I got a moon. I'm gonna move that skill. And let me go and say, oop.
where are we supposed to be?
Nice cloud.
Guardian of the Tomb. It's above us. See how they got the little up arrow that 14 just added? Yeah,
Yeah.
buddy.
Okay. All right. Let me mount
I
up.
don't know where the stairs are.
Well, let's keep running around then.
All right.
If we just had Cool Guy Chris follow us, then Chris is now no longer Cool Guy Chris. The original Cool Guy Chris is now here. All right, so it does not appear that I'm going the correct direction.
Says it's above us. I don't believe it. It's been a while since I've done this.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
There's something in here.
oh yeah?
Maybe I found it. I think I found it.
All right.
There's
On
dead
my way.
bodies. Oh, there's a Guardian of the Tomes.
Yes. Let's guardian it up, man. Oh, Brian. Doing 229 DPS.
Yeah.
Couldn't catch you. You were too far ahead.
It says
All right.
insert stone. I guess I need to look at my bags. Is there something I can get rid of? Is there a way to sort?
Uh, yeah. Do you have Bagnon installed?
Yeah.
There's like a little
Clean
broom
up.
button at the top of it to
Yeah.
clean your stuff up.
And then click to search.
What are you looking for?
I was basically looking to see if I could. There's something I could easily just drop. I'm gonna drop this. That's silver.
Oh, do you need a vendor?
Yeah.
All right, let's go outside.
I'm gonna equip that. And let me see here.
I have one with me.
Oh, nice. Let me just drop
I mean,
that.
yeah. Come on out.
All right, cool.
Do-do-do-do-do. Can interact with this guy.
Oh, cool. And the guy on the back, the
Yeah,
fixer.
the little repair guy. You can sell your shit to him.
What's that? All right, what should I sell? What should I not sell?
Anything gray, sell for sure.
Okay.
Um, yeah, anything gray, for sure. After that, hold on to white stuff. Typically, like if it's a white like items, like handful of treats doesn't really matter unless you're trying to get achievements. Um, Gear, white gear, if you have like white boots or whatever.
Okay.
Uh, Food and water only if you're going to use it. I think as 2 druids, we're not going to need it.
Red gear that I can't use.
I mean, if it's white or gray quality, just toss it. We're gonna get a lot of greens and blues from questing.
Ogre effigy.
It's gray. Yeah, gray text. Ogre FG.
Okay, that's what you mean by gray. Gotcha.
Yep. So when you sort, those kind of naturally will go up into like a top section because like it knows those are just trash. And whenever that gets to be too much, we can add an add-on that does all that for you. I'm just slowly going to introduce you to quality of life that the community has added. Oh, there's nothing spicy about these meters. I'm going to destroy him.
All right.
Because I'm in here in full heirloom gear and he is not. So I don't have to be better than him. I have better gear.
Dr. Otako Sensei, thanks so much for the follow. All right, so let me see if I have anything better that I can equip. No.
And then sell off any gear that you're done with. Like if you already found a replacement piece, just vendor it.
Let's see. I'm just seeing if there's anything that's better.
Yeah, the auto trash button is with any number of add-ons. There's also add-ons that allow you to flag things for trash. So you can flag like greens and blues as trash greens and blues. And that's important when you're doing like repeated low-level dungeon runs where you're going to find like boss drops 27,000 times and you know that boss drop is trash.
Cool. All right. Feeling pretty good now. All right. With inventory to spare.
All right.
Trin just got updating his add-ons yesterday.
I reinstalled for Shadowlands.
Nice. Do we go back in
I am
here?
all fresh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to go upstairs.
More guardians. Gotcha. More guardians to kill.
Hey there, buddy. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm gonna pull this guardian.
I'm gonna just tag everybody.
Yeah, man.
Starfire. Yeah. Cool. Sweet.
Cool. I remember this being harder.
Oh, man. Yeah, things get tough. Bring friends.
Light this guy up. Bye-bye.
Yeah, sit down. This guy's got a lot of dead guys around him.
We'll add a few more. So, one of the things that is an important mechanic is when you're casting and stuff, like and things are attacking you.
Yeah.
In World of Warcraft, you take more damage if stuff hits you in the back.
Okay.
So, like, when you're tanking, don't just, like,
turn around,
run through something and turn around. Like, you'll get pummeled. You need to, like, it's a lot more of, like, a backpedal type motion.
Okay. Why are you hearing Chris twice? I'm only hearing him once.
Because your headphones are close to the microphone.
Okay.
Oh, ding, ding, ding. 13. I don't know if you...
Stand in the fire, it boosts my damage. Yeah, level 13, baby. All right. Let's keep it going. Keep this XP a-flowing.
All right.
Dorkston, sorry I missed your question. Yes, they did. And I'm not using an add-on for controller support right now.
Now, he's doing it with console commands, so like he's pulling stuff that I assume is just in the client because they're beta testing it. I would assume they're gonna put it in the actual menu when it's ready for prime time. So
I hope so.
any inconvenience he's having, I would like to think is just because they're like, yeah, we didn't intend for you to think that was polished.
Yeah,
we
I'm
tried to hide it.
Your sister. You are still not allowed to mention my sister.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
Boomkins
you,
would make a fire and stand in it. Make one of their buffs.
Now,
proc.
if you're planning on doing feral, if you like to be in cat form, you're probably going to want a two-hander. Honestly, just no matter what, like, because the two-hander is going to be much higher DPS, and the problem with the one-hander is you're going to need to find another. You're going to need to find an offhand. So it's typically a
one
better
hand,
stat.
I'm gonna go with the two-hander.
Typically, you're getting more stats that way. You're also getting more value that way. So if you end up selling it.
Shapes and Lord of the Hunt is a powerful Loa. He can grant you access to his
Cool.
many totems throughout this
Now
that
equipped.
increase your speed
Do you want?
just by being near.
Do you
Oh,
want
it's
to
so
pick
much
Donk,
relaxing.
or do you want to pick Paku?
If you want to soar,
Is there an option?
Loa of Winds.
Yeah, they're telling you about them right now.
So they're like you pick path A or path B.
Throughout the city.
Yeah.
So how do I choose a Loa? Oh, one of the pets down here.
Yeah.
Flying Wyvern. Thank you very much.
Cool.
All right.
Is that really the form you choose to walk around in?
Ha! I knew you would make.
Oh, now we're gonna go meet the real
Come
Paku.
over here, and I will fly you out to see Paku face to face.
Cool.
You gotta go mount that.
I did. I'm getting the hang of it. I'm learning. Woohoo! Have a good one, Astro.
So Starfall, I think, is like a level like 50 ability now, or 40 or something. So they spread everything out over the 50 levels, and so there are certain classes that like don't get access to their AOE rotation until they're like 3/4 of the way leveled, because they want you to kind of learn your class slowly instead of like slamming the whole thing into the front end where you learn basically everything during their ARR and then you just trickle your way through. So it should make it feel more like an RPG rewarding experience. Now we're gonna meet the real deal. So these Loas are like gods.
Okay.
So now we're gonna meet the actual one. Paku, Lord of Winds.
Why must I bleed your heir?
Wow, that's mean.
May the wind
All right.
be at your back.
You ready to have some faith?
Crap. Require a leap of faith. I run over here and jump.
I mean, if you have faith.
Ah!
I did not mean that literally. I admire your passion.
It's changed a little over 12 years.
Before the steps of Dazalo, so the trolls of this land will
Ah.
know with whom you have bargained.
Hey,
He's
Major.
playing pretty heavily controller.
Yeah, there's a few things I can't do on controller, so it then requires me to do something on the mouse and keyboard, which that's fine, especially for how it is. My hope is one of two things: either I get some time and I really want to go learn how to write an add-on for WoW to kind of just take this to the next level using the new API, or that somebody else does it. And then it's like, cool, all right, because my thought is like, I know there's console port and there's a couple things that people have and they like, and that still requires additional software to be installed. So my goal is not to have that additional software. Like if it's just an add-on, that's cool. Hey, Kieran, thanks for the follow. All right, let's see here. Speak with the king.
You should come honor this altar first.
Oh, I should.
Mm-hmm.
Should I have been honoring these altars the whole time?
They give you a buff. You only have one active at a time. All right, so now we gotta go back to Bargain is Struck, right?
Yeah,
Use
like
Hearth.
oh well, already mounted.
All right. On my way. Should have my hearth synced with your hearth. Do.
He's still up. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta take the elevator.
No mounts on elevators. It's a part of when I say API. I don't know if they've made that public, but right now it's done through console commands. So you have to disable certain things. So, well, we'll have to see because it said if console port can end up doing the job that I needed to do without having to use WoW Mapper, I think that will end up being pretty exciting.
You stand before King Rastakar.
King Rastakar. Okay.
All right, Grand Bazaar. I don't know whether or not we know that flight path.
Okay, I've got the Port of Zandalar and Talagrub.
So we should go down to Port of Zandalar.
Okay.
Right? That's
Is there
what
a-
that's
is
the
there a
quest we need to do, right?
Meet Zalani at the Grand Bazaar and meet Zol at
So-
the Prophet at Talgrub.
So the
those are
fastest
two
way would
places
be to
I
come
have.
over here and take this flight path.
There's a flight path. Where are you at?
Uh-huh. Yeah, these are like your Aethernet. We don't have just the ability to port Aetherite to Aetherite. You're kind of constantly on the world's largest Aethernet.
Oh, talk to this person who's got a quest.
Well, that's not the Flight Master, but we can.
Okay. And there's the
so
flight master.
Flight Master's right here. And then we can fly south to the Port of Zandalar.
Port of Zandalar. Cool. Got it.
South.
Yeah.
You got it. Can't you use Steam Big Picture?
As an
I don't know what that
overlay?
is.
I'm not playing on Steam. Oh, but by the way, I should open up my stream avatars, get the ninjas rocking and rolling.
I don't think it's as powerful as Cross Hotbar.
No. Cross hotbar, I think, is it's like, the Rolls Royce of. See, now for some reason it wants to use my mouse. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, sometimes these games that they're like, oh, you want to left click and right click. We're not going to actually bother writing a way that you can interact with X, Y, and Z. It's like we're just going to let you like hard move the mouse. It's like, no, I don't want that.
Do not concern yourself with a few petty
What do you ask?
Blade of the King.
far more important
Rastakan's
matters to
will.
address.
I am the high priestess of Shad.
So one of the things I can't do is interact with the chat that pops up, but I can tab and target and then interact with people and close that. So if there was a way that says X for accept, I wish basically X was kind of a multi-button because it'd be cool if it was like target the closest target of mine. I can do that with like the down button and then press X. So it's like it's 2 button presses instead of 1. And ideally we'll see that evolve hopefully more. All right, let me mount up.
Actually, I think we're fighting this stuff here.
Oh,
How many do you think we can take?
probably a lot with your air.
Actually, we don't have AoE, so like I don't really.
Now I could loot. I can loot with the key press.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's still 2 buttons as opposed to like, ideally I would say, let's make it 1.
Those other thugs don't care. We just pulled that thug, and they were like, "That's fine."
Blood
There it
blood
is.
runs deep with these thugs.
We got to kill 15 thugs in the streets. We don't need to talk to Connor Busnick in there, do we? No.
Don't think so.
He's a barber. That lets you change your appearance. You
I'm
don't have
good.
to go buy a fancy potion. You can just change your appearance. You can just do it. You can just go in and just be like, I don't want to look like that anymore.
Like if I wanted to be a troll.
You can't do a race change, but you can do quite a bit.
Yeah, they have that in 14. Just FYI, it's called the
Hairstyles.
Aesthetician. Yeah, hairstyles and anything you look like.
How far does the esthetician go?
It goes pretty far. Like it's basically the character.
This will
creators.
change the way your cat looks.
We don't.
you
The,
shapeshift into a
Yoshi P
cat.
doesn't believe in pet classes, so.
Well, they're not real. Yeah, you want to see the difference between the esthetician and the barber?
Sure, why not?
Well, come on in.
Come on down. Let's see here.
Have a seat. Stay a while. Yeah. So it's just like the character select screen, except
Problem with the targeting is that it's not like targeting. There's not targets near us. Connor Busnick, welcome friend to the barbershop. Okay, he doesn't have anything for me. All right, cool.
oh, I have like all these different.
I guess I might have to hit a certain point. They're like, you got to at least have 20 hours with the esthetician, or whatever in the
Oh,
game.
we're gonna do Ghost Pride, and I'm gonna pay 4 silver for that. Shave and haircut. Now look at my cat.
Oh, I got to sit in the chair. Trin's saying, okay, cool.
Yeah. Glowing chair. See, look at my cat now.
The chair. Nice.
Way better looking.
Ah, I see. Well, hello. Okay, cool. And then I can.
Yeah, so you can like change your shapeshift forms if you have one. I don't know if what all comes unlocked.
Okay.
Got a bear made of rock.
I'm good. Glamour is not my end game. Let us continue.
It's a pretty shiny cat.
It's a shiny cat. Shiny kitty.
I
Is
think
it
they're
up?
downstairs. I don't know.
Looks like they're upstairs. And Raven Thoro, thanks for that follow.
The pre-patch event. So the pre-patch event is usually just a couple weeks before the expansion. So normally we would have, if we're going to do 2 parts like this, we'd do 2 weeks, 2 weeks, and then the expansion. But because that was delayed, they don't want to give us the event yet. Because the event's meant to be kind of this last-minute hype. So, by the original plan, yeah, we would have pre-patch right now, and then we would be in the expansion in 2 weeks. They're downstairs?
I just jump.
I mean, in cat form, yes.
I still
not in cat
survive.
form.
I still survive. Guess I could go cat form. There you go.
You do you, man. Cat form is an advantage that, like, we get reduced fall damage. But only if you remember. You can change into cat form, like, mid-air if you just are like, oh, crap, that was a mistake.
Oh, that's good to know.
It's instant cast. I don't really know where this guy is. Just gonna be picking up quests. Oh, I love these guys.
I have scars older than your life. We Tortolans love the story of
The
Lo,
Tortolans.
young Tortolan who traveled the world. When telling these stories, we ask young Tortolans to guide Lo around small mazes to complete different
Why
challenges.
does it feel like there's a quest right here?
First, a simple challenge.
Oh, there he is.
Guide Lo to the goal.
Knowledge is the best currency. But I do take golden interest in trade.
Cool, cool.
Are you doing the quest?
I grabbed a quest, and then I was supposed to...
Talk to Toki again.
Toki? Okay.
And then he'll let you start the.
I am ready. Okay.
I don't know if you ever had to do this stuff when you were learning to code, but
Is this a logic puzzle?
kind of, yeah.
What's the goal? Is to take the Loey to the goal?
Yeah, you gotta take the turtle to the finish line. You've got forward, left, right.
Oh.
Don't hit stuff. They get more complex later when they put them in daily quests, but this is the entry. This is the entry point of that
First
quest type.
goal. Okay.
Easy enough.
And then they're gonna say, okay, now do you think you can do it, but get gold and then go to the finish line?
Okay, so obviously he can't then redo his path. So is that...
Right.
Okay, here's the goal. Got it. All right. It's nice that they're going to show you the path that he's already been on. So yeah, I can see how that they would want to make these a little bit more complex.
Is there a class that's just better? No. No is the simple answer. There are like within like a specific type of content, like within PvP, there can be, of course, for a patch cycle or for an entire expansion where there's kind of like one DPS that rises above the other DPS. You know, that's just the nature of this. But then when you talk about like rating, it's a different set of balance. When you talk about Mythic Plus, it's a different set of balance. And so like it's never perfect, as with any MMO. But what I will say is like, while most players would love to look at what the people who play 15 hours a day are doing and be like, yeah, that they said that class is garbage, so it's garbage. The classes are tuned tight enough that for the average person, odds are you have room to improve at your own class before you run into like you should switch class. Does that make sense? Like odds are my rotation is imperfect enough that I could just increase my DPS output by playing my own class better, and not have to worry about switching. But it's just like 14, where like you'll have a DPS class that sits above the others for a couple of months, or possibly the majority of an expansion. And you may have one that feels kind of underwhelming, but it's, if you actually look at the percentage, they're perfectly capable, especially if you're just clearing like normal content. They're perfectly capable.
Spirits be with you, and with your spirit.
Thoughts on covenants?
What
They
are
did
the
a great
covenants?
job.
Because I've seen, why am I drawing a blank on his name? Does a lot of WoW stuff, has a news channel.
Bellular?
Bellular. Thank you. I was like, why? I just like, my mind kept thinking Balderdash.
Yeah.
It's like, but I've seen
And
him.
Bellular's,
Go ahead.
Bellular's, he's got a whole team of people kind of informing him and stuff, because he's not always playing the game actively himself, because he gets kind of frustrated with some of the changes they're making. So, where are we?
I don't know. I was just kind of like thinking I was running to the right
We're
spot.
supposed to be up.
We're supposed to be up. Wake her up.
That's what it looks like.
Okay, I guess I can't. All right, let me mount up.
So, so basically, the covenants are like beast tribes times 1,000. So imagine in the next expansion, you have to identify with a beast tribe, and the beast tribe that you pick is going to determine the cosmetics that are available to you.
All right.
But then also, the covenants are going to give you two abilities. They're going to give you an ability that is unique to the beast tribe,
Cool.
to the covenant, and each of the 4 zones will be themed after one of these covenants, and so the covenant runs its own zone. So you're in Kalusia, right? And there's a Kalusia beast tribe, and then you're also going to have a class-specific ability from that beast tribe that's unique to the fact that you're a druid or you're a warlock or whatever.
Oh, that's cool. So you have one that says like all covenant, Kalusia
Everybody who is
has Kalusia,
so everybody who's a
heal or
a
something.
lol, yeah.
And then
So everybody
based
who
off
picks the
your-
Ananta has the Ananta ability, and since you play
An Ananta
Summoner,
druid,
you have the
yeah.
Ananta
Summoner.
Summoner ability.
Cool.
the problem is that like that's not going to be balanced.
The hell
Like
am I supposed to be going?
it's not, and so people want to be able to say that the Kaluja Beast Tribe is the best for PvP, and then the Lakeland one is best for PvE. You kind of want to switch back and forth,
Where am I
and
going,
they want
Chris?
that
I am so lost.
they want
right
that choice to be. I'm just gonna kill some stuff. They want that choice to be meaningful, so they put a time delay of 2 Tuesdays, 2 lockouts before you can switch. I think they've got it reduced down to 1 right now. I'm not sure. I mean, this is all up for grabs. So they're ever changing here, and people were worried about the balance. And then their counter, right? Their "don't you have phones" type moment with this is that they basically said, well, to the people that aren't like the super hardcore, they'll be able to just pick the one that has the flavor they want. But like that implies that
How do I stop
like
the street scamp?
you just right click on them when they're close to you. You just
Okay,
gotta
I
go.
gotcha.
So like they're not balanced. They're just not. And right now some of them are just actively not engaging abilities, and so like there are people that just feel like some of the covenants, it's not really a choice if you're like, oh, you have a choice between this crappy door and this really great door. I'm like, well, that's not a choice at all. And then you're telling me that, well, I need one of the doors for one type of content, another door for another type of content, and I can't be both. Like I can't do PvP and PvE on the same character, so am I just supposed to level 2 characters of the same class? So like people get frustrated. Now I will say with Torghast Tower, they got a lot of feedback and they listened to that feedback, and Torghast has changed drastically. Torghast is like their super crazy ultimate deep dungeon, and it's changed a lot. And some of the changes I disagree with, but the vast majority of the changes I do agree with, and I think they've improved the content through community feedback and through public testing. So like as for covenants, I'm not super worried yet because like there's no need to worry yet. Now tied to the covenants, there's also like a conduit system, which is kind of like having your like Eureka relic type system kind of locked behind that, and like conduits not being balanced is its own problem.
Right.
So in general, like the end game systems, the relic type systems that are supposed to kind of define things are what seems to be struggling, and so that concerns people who play the game for that reason. I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing.
1 second.
I'm totally lost.
My avatars aren't showing up, so I was like, what is happening? Alright, so let's go.
WoW classes are pretty poorly balanced when compared to 14. For example, at the start of BFA, warriors were close to not even being viable for Mythic 10 keys, whereas monks and DKs were a walk in the park for the same content. So 14 only has 2 pieces of content that test balance to the degree that Mythic 10s do. 14 has 2 ultimates, one at the beginning of the expansion and one at the end of the expansion. And that is the only time that we test at the level that Mythic 10 is. Savage content is not as tightly tuned as Mythic 10, in my opinion. So that's part of what exposes the balance, right? Like when you get into Savage content and you say like, and you see it in Savage and stuff that like people prefer only one tank. Because it has the right cooldowns for the right thing. So, like, yeah. So I think both games we're looking at like single-digit percentage points in balance, and it feels drastic because it's the most drastic imbalance we have, as opposed to if you go play like 1.0 or if you go play Final Fantasy 11 or you go play WoW Classic. That's what imbalance can look like. Like those are wildly out of balance.
My stream thing is it's messing up with whatever's going on today, guys. So sorry. I was just like, where are they? Let's see here. All right. Interesting. Fascinating. There we go.
I've been stopping street scamps.
Yeah, I think I did that too. Did I? Good, I did. Yeah. All right.
Stopping street scamps is like my least favorite of the dailies when you come back here to do dailies.
Zandala forever.
Scamp.
What a day! Like
nests.
I'm familiar with dailies within Destiny, and I'm familiar with dailies within Final
So dailies
Fantasy.
have-
But what did they
yeah.
give me here for doing dailies?
So dailies have been pretty iterative. So dailies, when they were first introduced in the Burning Crusade, were like literally Beast Tribe quests. You had a Beast Tribe, and you showed up every week. And once you cleared certain thresholds of reputation, you unlocked another set of quests. And you went to this little area, and you did their set of quests, and you got rewards from their vendor. So
Okay.
it was exactly. Now from there, we expanded to more important reputations. So we at that point, because at that point we also had the Scryer and Alder, which were like these two factions that you could ally with. So they kind of had the concept already in game, and you had tribes that spread more across the zones. Like you had these fishing penguin people in Wrath of the Lich King that you could engage with. And by the time we got into Pandaria, so
Track down
the Burning
lair of the
Crusade
scams.
is 2.0, Wrath of the Lich King is 3.0, Cataclysm is 4.0, triggered all sorts of stuff. Then we move into Pandaria. By the time we got to Pandaria, we had lifted the daily cap. So now instead of being able to do like, I think it started at 10 or 25 or something quests a day, you could do like an unlimited number of quests a day. And there were like 1,000 of these beast tribes. Just imagine like you logged in and there was like 2 beast tribes in every freaking zone. I don't know how many there are in Pandaria, but it felt like this huge jump. And there was like important things locked behind them for the early progression. Like you needed stuff, so you needed to be grinding these reps. In Cataclysm, we had already started to see things like be these strategic gates where like each week you would log in to do a set of dailies to kind of like Ishgardian restoration, like open your way through the progress, but on an individual progress level. And so like Beast Tribes had already become this very immersive thing through phasing and other technology. And where people started to get burned out was it was always the same quests. So in, was it WoD when we added world quests? Might have been WoD. If not, it was Legion. I think it was WoD. So we added world quests, and basically what world quests is like you do your favorite quests. So say that it's like the 5.3 that solo instance, or say it's like one of those instances where you get like the little sniper rifle in Stormblood or whatever.
Yeah.
You just liked that. That was just a fun quest. So now what we can do with world quests is instead of spinning up all these beast tribes out in the world to just like do this, right? You can just do this forever. We can just have your favorite quests be on repeat. And so you can pull from a much larger quest pool, in theory, making it feel less repetitive. The other thing we can do is we can spawn like dozens of them into the game at once, and then you can just pick and choose which ones you want to do. So each day you just need to do X number of quests to get your base reward. And then beyond that, just do whatever you want. Now that base reward was like doing your daily leveling roulette. It was this huge perk. But then your relic grind was tied behind continuing to do these. And so then you felt like, well, if I want to be on top of the rating curve, I don't need to just do 4 dailies a day. I need to do dailies until my hands fall off. And so the resentment begins when you have people tying end game progress to needing to do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of world quests to stay on the curve. And they grant basically like a little bit of this kind of relic experience. But you just have to keep doing it. It never ends.
Okay. So
yeah, my
Wolfman
reverb
says-
should be coming through Brian's headphones. So I don't know if he can turn his headphones down or I can try to
guess I
talk
could.
quieter.
Probably just move my mic. Let me know if that's any better. If I just kind of position
Okay.
my mic like this.
Where are you?
I am looking for Punishment of the Tau Man, and so I'm just kind of trying to follow the map here to get up these stairs and then run up over on these rooftops or something like that. So you finally got your fairy warhorse mount after 2 years of farming. Congratulations, Wolfman. That's awesome, dude.
Very nice.
Hopefully
Is WoW friendly
it
for
was...
casual players?
Oh.
Yes. The casualization of this game,
Oh, he knocked me down. That's
definitely-
so funny.
yeah, the casualization has definitely been going on. They have made it much more approachable. So in Final Fantasy, you have normals, and then you have savage / extremes, and then twice in expansion you get an ultimate. In World of Warcraft, you get less patches. I think we get 3 patches per expansion instead of 5. But you have a difficulty below normal called looking for raid. So you can go try out the raid on an even easier difficulty than normal, which is good because the raids don't just have like 3 bosses. They have like 10 bosses. So like pushing your way through it, if you were just going to die a lot, you'd be in there for hours. And then there's normal, which requires like kind of forming a group and not standing in bad. But, you know,
Hey,
if
boss.
you really stick with it, you can probably push all the way through. And then above that, you have heroic, which is kind of their savage and extreme. And then above that, you have mythic, and you get that for every single tier. So every single boss in an expansion, there is a mythic version. So they have... That's why people who are mythic raiders go over and they're like, oh, you only get 2 ultimates. Like, even if ultimate was debatably harder, even if ultimate was debatably better, that's where the Scott Zone complaint came from. Like, I'm not saying it's not amazing. I'm just saying I want more. And that's because in World of Warcraft, you know, say you get 10 bosses per tier and you get 3 tiers to an expansion, that's 30 ultimate fights. Like, that's just a different ball game. So
Doing
you
good.
can literally pick, and then their dungeon system, they have dungeons, and then they have what's called a Mythic Plus system, where you basically do like deep dungeon affixes, and each week they kind of rotate, and then you choose up a scale, up to Mythic, I think Mythic 10 or 15 is where, like, at that point, the loot doesn't get any better, you're just doing it to do it. Kind of like the Diablo 3 Greater Rift system. But you're just kind of just pushing up the dungeons as far as you can.
Hey, Voss, how you doing today, dude?
Do we know how many dungeons are coming with Shadowlands? They have them listed on Wowhead, but I don't know if that's the accurate number. So if you just go type in dungeons, it says there's like 152 instances in the game, and like the ones down at the bottom of the list are all Shadowlands dungeons. But I assume that that's just the ones that are going to be there on launch. I don't know if they plan to add any more, or like... So, yeah, we should have names. That'll at least give us kind of like the dungeons that we'll level through. The initial serving. 10 or so 5-man dungeons on launch. Thank you, Hunt. I think it puts us at 152.
That's a lot of dungeons.
Yeah, I don't think we need any more of these. I think I'm just killing to kill.
Let's see here. Says Sand Fury heads. So I don't know who dropped Sand Fury heads, but give me them heads.
Oh, we're not synced. This is what it is. We never synced. I was like, how are we not like on the same...
Okay.
I don't know if we just got too far apart or...
Probably.
All right.
All right. Oh, some guys over here. We
You wanna
ring
ring
this
a gong?
gong.
Yeah.
Ring a da gong. Wow. All right.
Yeah, WoW's an enormous game. Content to content over the entire course of the game, it is bigger than 14. BFA to Shadowbringers, I think Shadowbringers is bigger. But content to content, they just have too many expansions under their belt not to be the bigger game. We're going into 9.0. Like, it's just too many.
Boom. The yeah, and Yoshi P's commented multiple times that like he wishes he had the budget that WoW has.
Absolutely. He said it to us in our media interview.
Yeah. It's like, man, It's like,
If I had, like right there in front of Brian and I, he said, if I had the money WoW has, we didn't even. I think we were asking about Mythic Plus,
Yeah.
and he said like, I would love to have a Mythic Plus system. It was basically like, who's gonna pay for it?
Arcane locked. Oh.
Part of what makes it bigger is like we have systems in WoW that are systems we don't have in 14. So like in 14, battle pets can take part in Lords of Verminion, which is a small little thing inside Golden Saucer, and it's like a little pet MOBA, and that's what you got. You have an entire Pokemon.
Dude.
You have an entire Pokemon game inside of World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
With battle pets.
Haunt is so right. Like the adding that would require a total redesign of the system because it wasn't designed for that. And if anything, that Final Fantasy and Yoshi P just kind of showed us is like, okay, like we have to the way we can get this done is we add it on top of it as opposed to like going in and changing the core system. So I'm expecting, you know, like, yeah, that is how it is. So it might be nice one day if Yoshi P and they decide to do that. But I don't know. At some point you're like, well, why don't they just make a new game?
I mean, Cataclysm drastically changed WoW into a totally new game. Shadowlands is possibly the single largest shift in core systems we've had since then. So, like, depending on how big of a shift you want to make, you can do it while going live. Now, Cataclysm was a mess for content and was great for game core systems. Shadowlands possibly could be a mess for content, but these leveling systems will be great for the long-term health of the game. So, like, I don't know that the expansions in which they change things are good examples because they're... Do you want to kill this big guy?
Yeah, why not? Yes.
He's a rare spawn.
Yes.
So that's... I don't know that those are great examples because in both cases, it turns out like those expansions possibly suffered from it. I think Cataclysm suffered from all the changes they were making. And it seems like Shadowlands is suffering from it.
Get off my butt.
I mean, if there was ever a time to get in with a fresh new character, like, I think that the new leveling experience that they've done here could possibly turn out to be the solution to what happens when a game suffers from long-term success. Like, success sounds like this great thing, but when you have 9.0, right, which 14 will get to, unless something changes, like, how does it age? You can't just keep asking people to log into ARR and play all the way through. Like, there's going to come a point where that just doesn't make sense. And so you either have to hit the hard reset button Destiny style, or you have to phase it into Destiny style like PSO2 is promising to do.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see how PSO2, like New Genesis, goes, because I'm so excited for it. But one of the things I think somebody was even asking us in our Discord, it's like, hey, like, are we still playing, Phantasy Star? It's like, well, I will, but not right now. My levels also don't carry forward, and thank God they told me that that's what's happening. So I kind of feel like, cool, like, all right, I'm excited, but I know I don't need to sit here and no life PSO2 right now. You know, it's very freeing to sit here and say, okay, if it's not going to carry forward, like, then fine, I'll just chill.
I mean,
I might go and jump back in January. You know, it's like I get the choice of playing. I don't have to see. Man, yeah, you're out DPSing me by like over half. Cool. All right, one more head of these guys.
We got to ring it.
Sir Bob the Duck says, can you do a video about getting the controller to work in WoW? For some reason, I can't figure it out. You got it, dude. It's actually, my plan is to bring it out today. I started filming it yesterday. It's like Chris texted me. He's like, hey, you on? I was like, I'm kind of just testing out controller. But I was like, it needs more work. It just needs more work. And so I've got it to feel like I'm pretty comfortable. Oh, geez. All right, fine. Where, just playing.
Oh, what a callback. What a callback. This is like a level 48 boss from like vanilla. This is fantastic. I don't remember this the first time I played through.
Shill is such a funny word for gamers. It's like, oh god, how could you be like? It's like, no, but if it's a game or something that you love, you want people to shill for it. Like it is such a funny topic, you know. Like because gamers will shill, gamers will like celebrate, like this game, like it's got MTX. Yeah, did you see they made $20 billion? It's amazing, you know, if the game's good and they like it. I love gaming culture.
Yeah, them adding a mentor system, I think they looked at 14 and said that's a thing that we think we want, but I don't think we want the crown because I think that caused the system to encourage people to do it just to do it.
Just to have the crown.
And so it is literally opt-in only. Like there is no reward. You do it if you're interested, and if you're not, that's fine. We've got 10 bajillion players. We don't need you. Which I think is awesome. Because while the reward sounds good, I think we have learned in hindsight that in 14 there is a problem with people not picking mentor for the right reasons. I hate that items can still upgrade. Oh, my item forged into being a blue one instead of a green one. And that is the system that is pissing everybody off.
The forging?
Yep. Because now you can go into a dungeon and your piece can drop, but because it didn't forge, it doesn't matter. Because now you don't just need your piece, you need your piece forged, because that's your best in slot. It feels really good when it happens to you, when a piece that you were expecting to be green comes out blue.
Mm-hmm.
But like I didn't do anything that deserved a blue, and so it cheapens that. And when I do get something that deserves a blue, and you just get a blue, like it doesn't feel right. And then when something drops blue and you need it to roll to purple and it doesn't, you're screwed. It means nothing. So
good old RNG progression.
I understand why game developers do it. It's a cheap way to add replayability to a game. RNG just doesn't feel good when you work hard for something.
Yeah, that was Anthem's core game loop. Is that once it got rid of once
quest to turn in over here?
What quest to turn in where?
I have a quest to turn in here.
I probably do.
Okay, I had to turn into. I'm just figure you should probably be with me because I got turned into a child.
I already did that one and turned it in. Yeah, I did that and turned that in. So I'm gonna go to the Great Sea.
All right.
That was Anthem's core problem. It's like once XP became completely worthless, it's like their entire game was built off of RNG, and it's like, all right, so we both go to work, and then at the end of the day we roll dice. You did more work than me, but I won. Sucks to be you. It doesn't feel good.
And it feels good when you're the one that rolls, but then it feels so bad when you're not.
Right.
That it's not worth the game. Oh, it just
better than Diadem right now. Hey, Fi, how you doing today? I'm about to head downstairs, help Julie with the kids for a few minutes. This is where, yeah, Chris and I are talking about doing like picture-in-picture stream, so you could see his perspective as well.
We're getting there. We first had to get Brian on the controller, so it wasn't just Brian not playing WoW. Step one.
It doesn't want me to do a mountain here. You don't technically know where I'm at.
Oh, I hope your fiance's okay. Armored.
Oh my god. Yeah, I agreed. Hopefully she's okay.
All right. You could just hearth to get up there, by the way.
Oh, that okay. Is that where
Or you could've
we're
flown.
homed? Is that where we're home?
Yeah,
there?
the Great Seal is home.
Gotcha. Oh, good. Hey, TGI, what's up, dude?
Hello, hello.
Controller feels pretty good. There's like one or two things that it's like it would be really good if they did this.
We gotta go upstairs.
Planning on putting in that feedback, letting them do that. You know, like hey, like come on, let's go. Oh, missed the elevator. I like how there's a skeleton.
I'm gonna prove to you that it doesn't squish you because
Thank
you
you.
said it would squish you.
I don't know. I would, yeah. Ah,
Dun,
cool.
dun, dun, dun. Nope. Elevator boss was most pronounced in Serpent Shrine Cavern. There was an elevator that could wipe a whole raid.
Oh yeah. How would it do
Yup.
that?
If you moved around on it on the wrong time, that one in particular, if you moved around on the wrong time, like trying to anticipate it, you'd shoot through the floor. Early elevators. I'm a druid. I'm a
I'm a
druid.
druid. Druid.
I already had all my classes rolled, so when Brian said he was swimming over, I don't believe you can have too many druids. So
And Leland got his horde priest transferred to Morganis now, dude. Yes, we can
All right.
play.
So we are gonna jump down here in cat form. And go to the flight master here. And I think she'll fly us out to the sliver.
You need protection.
So I have tail grub. The sliver.
If we go north, yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna start heading towards Telgrub.
I haven't played
when
the
you
Death Knight
first
yet,
level to
boss.
the expansion, I should have brought you a hang glider. Because we all came to the expansion with hang gliders made. And you just jumped off and you just sailed off.
Nice. I have a Death Knight. Like Chris told me before they did the pre-patch, make a Death Knight, make these classes, these characters. So I was ready to go. So, all right, it is 7:10. I'm gonna leave the screen up so you guys can see Chris and he can keep you entertained. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go help Julie.